Hi guys, and today's review is going to be on this Longmoor Military Railway WD in the Longmoor Military Railway Blue, and its name is Major General Bachmann. And as you can see, it has no number. It did carry one, and that will be in history. Also, I think this one's a slightly better tooling, or slightly upgraded tooling than the weathered one I have, and I think this one weighs more too. It definitely has a different detail to the other one, just slightly. Any footage of it going round the board by itself is straight out of the box, just for something different. And according to Bachmann, this works better on second radius and above, so it possibly could do first. Here is some model information. Bachmann and Graham Farish do a WD 280 for several years now. There is a kit version of a 210. There is also several kit versions of the Loco, and DJH do one as well. And I understand Fleischmann do a kit one too. As we move on to the front of the Loco, the smoke box and the lampines are separately applied. Smoke box starts, so the lampines are separately applied. It has sprung buffers too. It has its running number, which is not on the cab side, as on the front here, which is WD 79250, I believe. It has a hook for chain link coupling. It has I think a NEM small tension lock coupling. It has a little bit of rivets all the way around the chassis. The smoke box door doesn't open, and it has finely applied handrails as well, and some extra added detail which I don't know what that is there. As we move on to the other side of the Loco, I believe that's a Westinghouse pump, I believe, with some piping. As we move on to the side of the Loco, we have separately applied piping at the top, the whistle too, also the handrails and some of the piping here. We have a separately applied bit there. The reverser, it looks like it's slightly separately applied. We have red rods, which is a nice touch. We have red lining on the, I think it's the chest here. We have outside the cab as well. The vents don't open. As we see inside the cab, everything's painted, the pipes, the dials and the regulator too. Very nice work by Bachmann. As we move on to the tender, we have the red lining again around the tender. We have the basic or the correct lettering there for the Longmoor Military Railway. We also have separately applied handrails there as well, either side, and some on top too to help the crew get up. The coal is removable. As we move on to the back of the tender, we have a separately applied handrails and lamp irons and a ladder. We have more handrails on top with a water filler. We have sprung buffers again with a red buffer. And we also have the small tension lock coupling. There's no extra details on the four tender wheels. Last but not least, we'll have a look at the detail bag, what you get. So first off, this is the detail bag. You get like more steps, vacuum pipes and brakes, drain cocks I believe they are, or cinder cocks, I can't remember. And I think that's something to do with sound. I'm not sure what that big one is. You also get that, which I believe is for the nameplates, which it carried. Very nice touch there from Bachmann. And you get a little diagram to tell you how to apply it. Here is some information on the WD Austerity 280. The War Department, or WD Austerity 280 is a type of heavy freight steam locomotive that was introduced in 1943 for the war service. A total of 935 were built, making this one of the most produced classes of British steam locomotives. The Austerity 280 was based on the LMS Class 8F, which until the point has been the government standard design. Various modifications were made to the 8F, designed by A.R. Riddles. In order to get the costs down over its designed life, changes were made, and these included the boiler of a simple construction of a parallel rather than a taper boiler, and a rounder top firebox rather than a Belper firebox. The firebox was made of steel rather than the rarer and more expensive copper. The North British Locomotive Company of Glasgow built 545, split between the two works at Hyde Park and Queen's Park. The Falcon Foundry of Newton Lee Wills in Lancaster built 390 of them, and North British also built a larger 210 version. WD number 800 to 879 were ordered as an LMS Class 8F. Number 9312 was the last one to be built and was named Falcon when new. NBL builders' plates were not all in correct sequence and were mixed up between the two works as well as between the batches. All locomotives had their WD numbers increased by 70,000 prior to shipping to mainland Europe. These, completed after the 5th of September 1944, carried their 7,000 service series from new. All but 3 WD numbers, 77223, 77369 and 79250, saw service with the British Army after D-Day. After the end of the conflict, the War Department disposed of 930 locomotives, 2 of them retaining by the War Department and 3 being scrapped. After the Second World War, 200 were sold to the Lmr and were classified them as a Class 07 and numbered them 3,000 to 3,199 in 1948. 533 more were purchased by a British Transport Commissioner. Some of the locomotives were sold as far away as Hong Kong. Here is a little graph of how they were made. 733 stayed in Britain. 184 to the Netherlands, but 2 of them were sold to Sweden. 12 made it to Hong Kong and 1 made it to the United States Army Transport Company. 2 locomotives continued to be held in WD stocks, seeing service on the Longmoor Military Railway in Hampshire. Along with these 2 WDs was 2 WD Austerity 210s and other smaller locomotives. In the WD 1957 renumbering scheme, they were renumbered 400 and 401. Here are the locomotive details. WD number 77337. It's 1957 number 400. Guy Williams, and the other one is his WD number is 79270. The 1957 number is 401, and that is Major General Bachmann. Here is some information on the class. The power type is steam. The designer is A.R. Riddles. The builders is North British Locomotive Company and Vulcan Foundries. Build dates is 1943 to 45, and as we know, there was 935 built. The wheel configuration is a 280. They are standard gauge. The fuel is coal. Valve gear is Wiltshire. Valve type is 10-inch pistons. Power classification is 8F. Actual load availability was 6. All but one was scrapped. Here is some information on the loco I just looked at. BR number is 79250. Its wheel configuration 280. Vulcan Foundries, where it was built. It entered service in the 1st 1945, and it was withdrawn 1957. It had a service of 11 years, 10 months, and 30 days. So yeah, guys, that's on the tracks now. It looks very smart. The delivery is nice. In some angles, it does look a little bit cheap. I don't know if that's the paint they use or whatever the moulding. I don't know. Next up is the point test. Yeah, so that point test went really well. She did it quite slow, which is impressive. She does have a wire there, but I'm unsure if there's any pickups in there. I think it's more to do with the sound or the chip. So yeah, like I said at the start, she's fresh out the box. So she's a little bit noisy, a little bit grokey. So I'm going to run her in, which is normally 45 minutes to an hour at midday on my controller. That's what I do, and then after that I just give it a train. It seems to be fine. That's how I run her in. So hopefully when you see her with the train, she might sound better. So yeah, some slow speed now. That's quite impressive. So she's just out the box. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. Yes, it's a very nice loco. Like I said before, compared to the weathered one now, it looks a bit cheap, tacky, you know what I mean, plastic-like. That's not putting it down. It's a stunning loco. Bachmann should be proud of it. It's done a really good job. I do apologise if people don't like the triple headers or double headers I do. It's just I wanted to try something different. Speaking of locos, we had the WD in the BR weathered livery there, and then we also had a WD austerity in the same livery as that one, an 060 version. This one's by Hornby, and they make a great pair. And they were put in the wall coaches. Also, we had over there, we had the City of Edinburgh, streamlined in LMS black. Then we have the Rod, or the Great Western 3000. I think it's the 04 Lmr, but that's the Great Western version. And in the shed there, we have the National Coalboard version of the Caledonian Rail Class 264. Just there, sorry. Yeah, the WD was on a freight train, as you saw at the early running session. The nice loco, I paid, personally out of my pocket, I paid £70, but it was 130, I believe, 130. But I had some money off YouTube, thanks to you guys. So I treated myself to this, but I technically paid 70 for it, out of my own money. So yeah, is there any locos you lot want to see review, or even a running session? I don't mind. I can do that. So yeah, guys, until next time, it's goodbye from these beauties. And it's goodbye from me.